Thanks to the Prime DJ, and the resub Stoner and Tempest. And Solator, and the 5 gift subs Mimily. Thank you for that. And the tier 1 Now and Ben, and the 5 gift subs Crumple. Thank you, Crumple, and the resub Shyla, and the bits Gray. And the resub Jack. Yeah, we can do some Mr. Nightmare later. I want to see this humanoid robot.
You might have seen a video doing the rounds of a grey robot that looks ultra lifelike. Is it real? Is it fake? Well, at CES 2022, Ameca the robot was on show, and let me tell you, the experience of interviewing this robot was very uncanny.
It doesn't seem that realistic. Like, I wouldn't be confusing this for a human.
So Morgan, tell me, you've got Ameca there next to you. This is a very lifelike robot. Why would you design a robot that looks so human?
Yeah, well, the main use case for a humanoid robot right now is for entertainment, is for communication, and is for interaction with
the robot looks
people.
so nervous.
Ameca is the pinnacle of what we can do, but it's still not exactly like a human. We didn't want to make it look exactly like a human. We wanted to make it look like a robot. It's the vision of what
tier 1 Asher
humanoid robots in the future. You've seen all of the films. They all look like this.
Such a good movie.
So design something
Hello, my robot.
What we see, we envisage robots, humanoid robots, to be in the future.
And how do you create those really human expressions? I mean, looking at Ameca responding to you, there's little movements of eyebrows, if you can call them eyebrows. How did you actually build the robot to look so
Why is it
human
winking? Is it flirting right now?
Well, what we do is we first look at a real
It looks like
human.
me when I used to get
It's what we
blackout
call
drunk but
animation
pretend
first.
I was still
So
sober.
What does a real human do? How do they move? And then we take that animation and we design mechanics around it. So the mechanics can only do what a human can do. Yeah, see, she whacked me. Once we've got that, then it's quite easy to automate
LA
those
Noir
expressions,
facial expressions.
because whatever the
True.
mechanics do looks lifelike. So Ameca's got quite a few motors in its head, but we can see Ameca going through some facial expressions now, opening her mouth. A big wide smile is one of the things that we want Ameca to do.
So, she's so happy.
Big smile, Ameca. Lovely. Very thoughtful.
Thanks to resub Battle Cat and Bob and the bits coffin.
Where would we kind of see this robot Ameca out in the wild?
This is mainly probably service robotics. So the actual interaction with humans, moving around in a human space, that's going to come in the future. Well, I'm talking probably
robots
10 years
just don't
before
really
you're actually
need
gonna
a
see something like
face,
this
though.
walking amongst us.
Like, what benefit does that
Expecting
provide?
in, say, 10, 20 years from now that we could see Ameca robots walking, running, dancing, climbing? Are they going to start looking like Boston Dynamics robots that can run across a field at speed?
So, like, this is what I think all robots... Like, if we do get to a point where robots work in, like, the service industry and shit, this is exactly what I think they'd need to look like. They don't need, like, a fucking face that emotes at me. I don't need to wonder if my waitress is a human or synth, you know? Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't do anything. It's just a waste of resources. Just make it functional.
I'm asking and also almost afraid of the answer here.
So this is why we created the artificial body. And the artificial body is a human-like form
Thanks
that
to
everyone can
Don,
relate
Douglas,
to,
Bagel, and
everyone
Salty.
can interact with without having to
The
look
bits
through
and
a
GIF
user
and the
manual.
resub doctor.
So what kind of level of artificial intelligence have you baked in terms of the communication capabilities and
Ameca's fully sentient.
understanding and responding, even speaking to you?
We even gave her a soul.
There's some artificial intelligence, and most of the artificial intelligence at the minute that is on Ameca is revolving around the vision system. So Ameca does actually have a camera in each of its eyes, so it can see what's going on. So it can detect people, it can track their face, it can detect other objects, such as my finger. It can follow my finger around.
It's pretty slow on the
way back
response.
in. And then it can see it move backwards then.
What did you kind of think of the internet's response to Ameca?
It's
Thanks,
the
Risa. Hello,
emotion
and
and
Prime
how it
Titan.
moves, the emotion that you get out of the face. Suddenly, that just sparked something in the social media universe, and we were incredibly surprised that overnight, it became a sensation. We got 24 million views on one Twitter post, and Elon Musk even commented on that post. So incredible response. And
Yeah, it was a
we're at
pretty good
CES
response,
right
I
now.
guess.
This is the first time this has been shown off in public, and we're expecting to be very busy showing off Ameca.
Thanks to give sub Alexa, the bits buffer.
How do you think humans respond to something when it's a bit like them, but it's still got that uncanny element?
What we found was when you try and make it look ultra-lifelike to our other Mesmer line, it looks a bit more sinister because it's right in the uncanny valley.
Oh!
But actually, when we created Ameca,
Oh, is that an
pulled it
orgasm bot?
backwards out of the uncanny valley because it looks less human, because it's plastic, because it's metal, and because it's of grey skin. It's suddenly, oh, hello, people seem to respond to that quite positively, and people like this much more than they liked the ultra realistic.
Yeah, true. I could
When
see
you're
why.
demoing Ameca, what are some of your favorite things to do to kind of show the power of that interaction and just
Thanks,
how
Risa Brun.
impressive those lifelike features are?
Yes, as we've demonstrated the reacting to personal space, but we can also talk to Ameca. So I can say, hello Ameca, how are you?
I am doing well, thank you.
Oh, Ameca.
We can
Can you shut the fuck up?
We've
So
created
talkative.
Ameca,
Jesus Christ.
so it's more lifelike than any other robot. The shoulder movements are just like human movements. You have movements in the center as well as out at the shoulder. And that actually means that instead of hitting me, Ameca can move a hand all the way up to the side
Is he
of her
about
head.
to get slapped
I'm
by
interested
her?
to know maybe how the robot is finding Vegas or CES.
How are you finding Las Vegas and CES?
Well, as a robot, I actually don't feel anything at all. But if I did feel, I would feel happy to be here.
Do you see a robot like this becoming an accepted part
very
of our
Skynet.
lives? Do you see it maybe being something I might ask a question of at the airport, or would I have an Ameca robot in my home helping me out?
So most of the use cases for this will be the interaction. So
Thanks,
yes,
Risa
in the
Hayden
airport,
and
that's
Cody,
a
the
great
bit
use
Swift.
case, because you can either have many humans, or you can have many humans and many robots, and you can have that interaction in the same way.
Resub
Having it in your
Calmoon.
home is probably not something that's going to happen in the near future. A robot like this can do many tasks, just like a human, but there are other robots that you can get that will do those tasks.
Yeah, Roombas are
a
classic.
lot better because they're designed for the job
Yeah.
and a lot cheaper, and you can get them today. So
Thanks to Prime
why would
Software.
you buy a humanoid robot that will probably cost more than your house? Maybe in the future, maybe in 50 years' time. But I'm going to say right now, I don't think you'll have one of these in your home in the next decade.
What does it feel
Shame.
like to work on
What a
something that's
shame.
had such a huge response and to be at that bleeding edge of robotics? Is it something you tell your mates down in the pub that you're working on a robot that could one day be the future of society in robotics?
It's a fantastic thing to do. It's a fantastic technology.
I don't know when you can fuck it. I didn't make the Ameca robot. Jesus Christ.
I
Ask
hope
him.
over the next 10 years.
But better
we
yet,
can
ask
continue
Ameca.
Innovating and continue to spark people's imagination and continue with this social media sensation. So everyone actually then knows who Ameca is.
Thank you for the interview.
Thank you, Ameca, for being here.
Anytime.
Bye-bye.
All right, tell me what you think about Ameca the robot. Totally freaked out, or is it really, really cool?
I'd say it's a blend of both. I think she was awesome. She was great, really. Very human-like. Thanks to the resub Wavy and the Tier 1 Besrin. The bits Snow, Crying, and Scrunchy. Just as a little heads up, if you're putting a message with your bits, I can't read it. So, just want to get that out there. Thanks to the Prime God's Hero. Thanks to the bits Sailor. I saw yours in chat, and I've already seen that video. That's about the...